What's going on, guys? Maker Mods here, back at it again with another new video. Sorry I look super scuffed right now. It's really hot today in Southern California, but I really want to get this information out to you guys by tonight, where I'll be streaming this Switch and doing some cool stuff. What Switch, you may be asking? Today we're taking a look at the Anubis Switch, which is a collaboration between Mechs on Deck and Canon Keys. Now, by the time you're watching this video, this is already live. And you can pick them up on the Canon Keys website for $71.50 for 110 or 65 cents a Switch. It's got a full nylon housing with an opaque top and a translucent bottom, a palm stem, and a 65-gram gold-plated spring. Earlier today, Mechs on Deck had a stream where he talked more in depth about the Anubis Switch and kind of where the inspiration was drawn from. Now, if you're not familiar with Mechs on Deck, basically they're the guys who created the Zykos Switch. A Zykos Switch is known for its ultra uber tactility, and it basically is an in-ear panted top, a halo stem, a 78-gram spring, and a Zelios or Xylent bottom. Now, what's the problem with the Zykos Switch? If you add up the cost of all of these parts, one mechanical keyboard switch costing over $2. Now that's a big problem. So Mechs on Deck decided to try to come up with a solution or a response that was going to offer a similar type and level of tactility, but not break the bank. And so, like I mentioned, we've got the full nylon body with a palm stem and 65-gram spring. But going a little bit deeper into what these materials are, you have the same stem as a Moyu Black. And a Moyu Black is also another really tactile switch, which has the front-loaded tactility and basically very little bottom out, although there is a little bit of post-travel before bottoming out. You have the same bottom mold as the Cerulean switch, which we reviewed earlier on this channel, and also this switch is manufactured by Durock. But what's different about this switch versus a Cerulean? The sound signature is going to be different, as well as also the stem. But basically, the fact that it has an opaque top means that the sound is going to be a little bit deeper. The fact that it has a translucent bottom means that the sound will be a little bit brighter, a little crisper. So when you put those things together, you get a switch that I think sounds really nice. So the Moyu Black stem should mean that there's a small bit of post-travel, unlike the Neopolitan or Zyko, which has really no post-travel after the bump. And if you look at the push feel of this switch, there's pretty much zero pre-travel, just goes straight into the tactile bump, and then you have just a slight bit of post-travel right there, probably about a millimeter or so. Looking at the force curve diagram, which Canon Keys is now trying to put on every one. So if you take a look at the force diagram, by the way, I really like how Canon Keys is now trying to put force diagrams for every one of the switches that they're selling. You see what, you can kind of see what the Moyu Black stem, or now the Anubis stem, is all about. You've got pre-travel, very little pre-travel before the tactile bump, and then you have 2 millimeter, almost 3 millimeter or so actuation with a bottom out just after around 3.5 millimeters, which I think was consistent with what it feels like when you're depressing the switch. Looks like a bottom out force of 60-ish grams and an actuation force of roughly, doesn't say the actuation point here, but assuming it's somewhere around after the tactile bump, you've got an actuation force of roughly somewhere between 40 to 50 grams. Spoiler alert, I really like these switches, and I hope you do too. So without further ado, let's go to the sound test. So I haven't had a chance to lube and film these switches just yet. I'll be doing that on stream tonight, so I will be posting a part 2 video that goes deeper in depth with comparisons to the Neopolitan, which is another similar type switch, right? The Neopolitan was a response to the Zykos as well as probably U4Ts and some other popular tactiles. Here's a sample of the Cerulean switch stock. I'm still working on my force curve diagram tester, which it's a work in progress, but I'm pretty excited for when it finally comes together. In my part 2, I'm hoping to have a better test of the spring weight. Now, Mechs on Deck in their Twitch stream did talk about how he was excited to spring swap these switches just to see kind of how they're different. In his words, before I had to tune off stream because of baby duty, he basically said that his ideal spring, he thought, was the Kinetic Lab slow spring, essentially, or the longer symmetric springs. I have some here, so I'm going to be testing those tonight on stream as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I have to edit and post this video in the next hour or so before my daughter comes back home from grandma's. So I hope as you're watching this, you are excited to try these out, because trust me, they're really worth it. And yeah, thanks for support, guys. Yeah, thanks for the support, guys. That's going to be it for me, and I will catch you in the next video.